Okay, hi guys. This is my attempt to give you feedback regarding the Pimpos um, terminal from Fernando Mosso. Basically, what I want you to see in this review is some code that I made for it, the challenges that I have, and can you give you the direction that I think we should have if we're going to be developing with this kind of terminal. The first thing I would like to mention is about the hardware. The hardware is very solid. I was researching on the company that actually made this terminal. I'm going to be sharing with you the link of their website. Seems to be a very solid company. I saw a video review of their job and their business. They are pretty serious hardware manufacturers, and you can see it in the hardware that this little device is, because it looks pretty solid. I opened it. You guys remember that we opened it here in Bogota, but I went further down the road to open it because in Bogota we just opened it to a point. We couldn't deattach the antenna back then, so I took it home and I opened it. And from there is where I can tell you which one the provider is, because it was born in the PC board of the device. It's very solid. Everything is very well done and it's very solid in terms of attaching there. You cannot find anything like hanging in there. There are no weird cables going from one place to the other. It's just very solid in the construction. It has a nice printer. I don't see any issues with that. It works nicely, and the screen is very good, although it's smaller than what we usually see in our terminals. You can define different size of fonts to be shown here, and it gives you flexibility to the point that you can just print a little dot anywhere in the screen. That is great, because flexibility is one of the things we missed or when working with APPI. The keyboard, I don't like the keyboard so much. For example, this little 0 here, I think we could give more use to these kind of keys in the terminal. This looks more like the keyboard for a calculator. We're never going to be selling pins in the hundreds or millions, hundreds of thousands or millions to be able to use it. So when you're not going to enter that big numbers, you maybe just are better by entering the 0 number 3, right? Other than that, I think this yes key is not the best name for the key. Maybe another name for the button would have been better. Escape and clear, I think, are okay. And the okay, of course, is always good to have. You can have an up and down, but one of the things to mention, and that we're going to have to raise to the product management team, is they are not going to be able to map as many stuff as they have in, for example, micro browser, where a Verifone terminal has way more buttons to play with. They have some function buttons here. For this terminal, you barely have up, down, and you're okay, and that's it. In terms of the pre-configured software that the terminal has, they always have a little main menu. This one has just 3 options here. One to test the terminal, which is actually very cool, because I guess in the future, if we have issues with a merchant that calls in saying that his terminal is failing, we could ask him to make the test, right? And the test could tell us if the terminal is failing or is some kind of configuration issue with the platform. So nice to have the system test for the customers. LCD gray is good because you can change the gray of the LCD according to the light environment that you have, right? I think that's good. Wait, it never goes below 45. I just noticed that. 0 is the default. Okay, never below 45. Okay, you never can go below 45. It has a USB download here, which I think it shouldn't, because our customers don't care for it. Okay, so I was talking to the guys of Pimpos and telling them that 2 things with the main menu. Maybe we want to change the language of it. With APPI, we know that the language of the terminal is in Portuguese, and the customers don't like that. And we went through a whole lot of things with them to provide an English version. So I was proposing them that maybe we should have some kind of configuration of the language of this main menu from the application. And also, in this application, besides the language, maybe we want to hide some of the options, like this 3 option is not good for our customers. Okay. Other than that, this main menu is what works for you when you want to upload your terminal code. And there's a whole discussion regarding loading the code of the terminal. Basically, you do it through a serial cable. They told me that they can do it via a USB cable, but I'm yet to see the USB driver to do it. And this cable is ugly. It's not very well done. I can see it getting broke hundreds of times during the development. I can see developers ruining it, and I don't think it's going to last long. So this cable is this way in one corner and this way on the other. And since my computer doesn't have any serial port, I use a converter from USB to serial, which worked nice. So I don't like this. I expected we could do it by USB, but I couldn't test it. They wouldn't give me the driver, and I don't know if they have it. So we went into a little discussion with the port, because this USB port, it would be nice to make it work for different things, right? Even though for our customers we maybe just want to print and send the transactions, I was thinking, what about GPS, for example, for this port? If we could manage to do that, if we manage to make that work, maybe we can have one of those cheap terminals that has geolocalization and works for Boost with his need of finding out where the terminal is. The charger is this power charger is weird, and I don't think we're going to be able to find spares easily. So you will not be able to find a replacement for this because the connector is cumbersome. I don't think this is a generic, like a standard. Okay, but it works nicely, and it charges the battery. The battery. Wait, I have to check this. Okay, the battery worked for a whole day for me, but I wasn't doing anything with the terminal. Okay, so I don't expect it to be lasting more than 2-3 hours doing transactions, which is okay. It's just I didn't go into the test, but my guess is it wouldn't last 2-3 hours, and it's normal, right? If they are making transactions, the battery would be spent way faster than if they didn't. But yeah, something like a day is what it lasted for me without making transactions. Now getting to the application that I made. Let me grab this somewhere different, like this. Getting to the application that I made is this little one. So basically I changed the test application that they provided. They provide something like a menu where you can have options 1, 2, 3, 4. And just for the good of it and for the test, I wanted to try, for example, making this little menu when I can use the up and down buttons to highlight one of my menu options. The results are very good because it let me know the flexibility of the coding. This is C, okay, for development. And you can do pretty much anything. You can create vectors, you can create arrays, you can create pointers, which is cool, and you can send your functions, your variables, either as pointers or by value, by reference or by value, which is really cool. Okay. In the LEL application, a cool thing is I'm showing you on the left just what they had in the test application, the SIM card. The mobile wireless antenna, how do you call it? The signal, okay, on the left. And on the right, the battery life. You will see right now that I don't have any signal because I haven't started